Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at. Today, what I wanted to talk about is, how do you turn your virtual assistant to be a virtual partner? I really think that, the unique piece about my business and everybody else's business is that I'm not looking for just hire you a virtual assistant. I'm really looking for the potential of them becoming your virtual partners. And let me tell you why that is important, at least to me, right? As a virtual partner, the very first thing is obviously they will protect you, right? Hey, client is saying this, but I don't think we should do that, right? Hey, we missed this email, let's make sure that we respond to this email, right? They are really just looking at all kind of places to protect you, right? My accountant is protecting me from overspending my money or again, fraud, or membership that I sign up and never really used, right? My customer service, person is protecting me from, irate customer, right? Hey, what's going on? How can I help, right? And all that. A second one that I talk about is, it's called the Empire Builder. This is coming from the Keller Williams community. Empire Builder is people that's helping you to build, right? Like social media people, I believe that they're building your platform, right? And there's people that's building your structure, your system. And I think those two are very important. However, when you first hire them as a virtual assistant, right, most companies, they hire virtual assistant and they don't really grow them into it. They're just there to be pushed. Hey, do this. You push them, do this. And they get it done. And then they wait. And what I wanted to do is I want to help you grow them into a virtual partner so that they feel like, man, this is my company. And I will think on the company behalf. I will hear what is, what needs to be here. I will improve what needs to improve. Because I always tell them, right, with Rachel is here with social media. I don't really touch my social media. To be honest with you, like very little. Maybe 1% chance, right? But she know everything about my social media. She know my handle, she know my comments, she generate the leads and all that. She is the one that actually let me know what kind of software we need to use, what the software that we need to buy, what is the current market going on right now. And she's the one that's telling me instead of me telling them. At the very beginning of my career, that's what I did. I am the one that tell everybody what to do. I am the one that's learning everything and then teach everybody else. But then you get to a point where it's just like, it's too much. I just cannot handle everything. If I want to do YouTube, I got to learn YouTube first, right? If I want to do Facebook, I've got to learn Facebook first. So now a lot of it, I actually bypass myself. I just give like them a course and then they actually learn it, own it, create a system and checklist, and then they run with it. And now I gain more time. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people, one of the key ingredients is that, successful people, they know how to leverage and multiply their time. We all only have 40 hours a week if we work full-time, right? Regular hours, right? Or again, we can say we only have 24 hours a day. However, successful people actually have like 2,000 hours a day, you know what I'm saying? Or 2 million hours a day, right? Because they know how to leverage and they know how to create a KPI and create all that. All right, so first thing first is build the relationship with your virtual assistant. How to understand your virtual assistant needs, talk to them, find out what they need. And at the same time, I think you also need to tell them what you want to, okay? The good and the bad part about, the virtual assistant in that world, in that culture is that they're really yearning for a relationship. A lot of the relationship that they have usually is really harsh, right? Mom and dad always is like, okay, you need to do better with this. You need to do better with that. You need to do this. So a lot of times they're yearning for the love, feeling like they're part of something. And that is where, like you really want to build that relationship with them. As soon as they felt that you really treat them like a family, then, the shift will happen. You will notice there's two types of VAs, okay? I always call them replaceable and irreplaceable. The replaceable VA, if they get sick, they just don't show up. The convenience is based on them, not based on you. The irreplaceable VA is the convenience based on you and not on them. Sometimes I remember when we were running events, I have VAs that will just stay with me till like 10 p.m. at night because they know that if I'm successful, they are successful, they're willing to do all that for me, right? So again, you want to understand what is their need, talk to them and find out what they need. When I first started my business, my career, I actually hired a lot of single moms. And I know that the single mom, most important thing is they want to take care of their children. So one rules that I have is that, hey, your kids come first. So if you need to take care of your kids, just let us know that when you're gone. And then you go do your thing. And after you're done, just come back. And I just have keep a lot of loyal VAs because ultimately they still get their work done and they take care of their kids and they will never really want to leave me. So that is the important piece. Like what really triggered you, right? What is important to you? Right? So that way you know how to, fulfill their need. And a lot of time, it's not necessarily just the money. A lot of time they just want you to give them a high five and things like that, which we're going to cover in a little bit. So again, communication often, regular chats, not just about work. This one, I find it a little bit challenging, right? Depending on the personality profile type that you have. Because some people, they like to have small talk. Some people, they just don't. You actually have to let your VA know what is your style, okay? Because some VA like to talk, some people don't. For me, sometimes what I do is I don't really have a lot of small chat. I usually get all the work done first, and then I will have small chat. So they kind of know my pattern, right? I will make sure that I break down everything, then I will have small chat. But sometimes we will talk about celebrating the win. So beginning of the class, what I do is, okay, let's celebrate a win. Give me one personal win and one business win. So then when they tell us about it, we at least would know, okay, what is going on, right? What are we looking for? So again, just chit chat with them, get to know them a little bit, because if you know them, they will know you. If they know you, it's just the trust and respect, right? Treat them like your family. They are really yearning for love. Based on my observation, they really yearn the relationship. A lot of them really does not have a good relationship. Truth to be told, a lot of them, mom and dad, go overseas to work, never stay home. So they really are missing that relationship. So if you really treat them like families, they will treat you back like families. And that in time, they do not want to leave you because you just become a big part of them. And then I love this, right? You rock, right? Always give them praises when it's earned. Truth is, in their culture, in their social background, they don't get praised a lot. It's always about what else do you need to work on instead of getting praise, right? So again, in American culture, we actually give people more praises. So a lot of time they are just yearning for that praise, right? So you just want to say, hey, good job on this, good job on that. One piece that I wanted to give you distinction is they're not used to asking questions. A lot of time what they do is, they almost are getting punished by asking questions in their culture, right? Hey, I tell you what to do, you just do it. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me what it is, why not, why yes, just do it. That's kind of like the Asian culture. Here, you actually want to say, hey, good job, right? You rock. I love when you ask me questions. Wow, this is amazing question. Well, I didn't really think about that. Amazing. So then they're like, oh, wow, I'm getting praise. I'm doing the right thing by giving you more feedback, giving you more questions, right? So then they will be more motivated to tell you more. Trust me, they have a lot of thoughts and ideas in their head, but they need to know that it is safe for them to give it to you before they will give it. So they're used to not giving feedback, not asking any question, just follow. So, you want to really praise them. Whatever that you think is important for your company, praise them on that behavior so that they will do more for you. So, for example, I hired the website designer and all I said is, man, what I want you to do is go study, this 3 people. I love their website. I want you to clone the website. I want you to see what is inside. And then the person literally cloned it within a day. Fast. Man, great job, man. You cloned the website within a day. That's amazing. Now tell me, what is the distinction about the website, right? Then he would tell me, okay, this is this. Wow, great job. And I love your distinction because I didn't know about it. I wasn't aware of it. Sometimes, a website is crucial, even down to the color of the buttons. So then he actually observed everything. I was like, great job, great job, great job. And now he knows exactly my flavor of the website. He knows exactly what I like for the website. So now I have been cloning a lot of websites because I'm diving into industry specific. And he's like, no problem, man. I'm just going to do it. Done. 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 Because now he become my partners. He knows exactly what I want, how I want it, right? And he felt the important with us in the company because he felt the significant, right? Because he was the guy for the website. And now he just automated everything. So now I don't have to really get involved. I might spend maybe like 15, 20 minutes per website and just kind of go through it. One big piece that I also wanted to share with you too is that I currently have an AI VA, somebody who's super intuitive on AI. I'm just so in love with it because all my virtual assistant and including all the VAs that you have, right? We are training them on AI at the very beginning. And then every month we will have one session to train them on AI. But I have a guy that's super duper good at AI. And now I'm combining the AI person and the website person together. They are just duplicating, website documents and that like crazy because the AI person know how to create the correct prompts and the website person know how to do the website, right? And then obviously we have also Rachel to do the social media. So all of them combined, again, they are just doing all the works and becoming my partner without me getting involved in it. And that's how I get more and more time, for me to focus on what I think is valuable for me to work on instead of working on the thing that I know they can get it done already. How to set your VA up for success. I think that this piece is very important. Sometimes, again, it's kind of like, I don't know what I don't know. And again, you have to really, just tell them that, hey, whatever you need, let me know. If it's reasonable, I will provide. Once in a while, I do see that, again, we are busy entrepreneurs. A lot of times we do not have the time to train them. Then you want to think about, okay, if I cannot train them, then who can? Would it be okay for them to learn from YouTube channels, right? I love Russell Brunson, marketing, right? So, hey, why don't you go to YouTube, watch Russell Brunson, how to do marketing, learn it, come back to me and let me know how, right? Or buy them a course. I want to be, right now, to be honest with you, I just bought a $15,000 YouTube course. I don't really have the time to go through all that. I study it, so I have the basic, but I'm not the one that's incorporate it. but I want to be one of the best YouTubers, right? So then I bought the $15,000 course. I get my VA to study it together with me. And now my VA is the one that's doing the research, right? And to plan out my video, to cut my video. So in that way, he knows exactly what to do, right? So now I'm also bypassing myself because he's the one that's attending all the group coaching. He's the one that's taking on the notes. So he has the same mindset now with me. So now we can run it together faster. Make sure that you give them clear goals. Tell them what you want clearly. With my business right now, a lot of time when the client come back and say, man, this thing doesn't work out, right? The VA doesn't work. One of the biggest pieces that I realize is that there's no clear goals. They don't know what you want. It should be black and white. I want you to get me 25 connections a week through social media. I want you to at least get me 1 conversion. I want you to communicate with 25 clients every single day so that they know this is exactly what you want. And again, this might not be easy for some of us. Sometimes I don't have the system at the very beginning, so I don't really even know what I want. So then I practice with them and say, please ask me questions. If it's not clear to you, if it's gray to you, ask me so that I can create the black and white for you. If I'm not clear with them because I have no idea what clear means, then I would just say, hey, just go play with it. I don't have the expectation right now. Just go hang out with it, play with it, and then we'll figure out what is the clear goals at the end of the day. Give them feedback and support, right? Help them grow and be there for them. Feedback is number one important thing. On day one, we train them on feedback is love. Okay, we train them on feedback is love. It's kind of like, I have 2 children, right? One is super intelligent, learn really, really fast. One of them just love to play and love to dance. So the one, Alexander, which is 9-year-old, I always give them tough exercise. I always give them tough curriculum in school. And I don't really give the tough curriculum for Troy in school because he is quote unquote not as intelligent or he just slow in academic. So I told Alex one day, right? Alex is like, man, mom, why are you doing this, right? You kind of like it's unfair. I say, well, would you want me to give you 1 + 1 = 2? Because if you want to, I will, right? He's like, no, that's too easy. I say, absolutely. Feedback is love. The stronger you are, the more intelligent you are, I'm going to give you stronger and harder feedback because feedback is love, right? I know you can take it. That's why I will give you the feedback. And I always tell the VAs, if your clients do not give you feedback anymore, you're in the borderline. That means that most likely he's going to want to fire you because we are not spending enough time on them to improve them, right? So again, feedback is love. Always give them feedback and they're okay with it because the more feedback you give them, it's the more love, right? We quote unquote, we call it the tough love, but it's still love, right? So again, help them grow, be there for them, give them support. One thing I want to add on this great piece too is that as a virtual assistant, they are very hard on themselves already, okay? So whatever you said, you can imagine that they kind of ×2 or ×10 depending on their personality profile. And one thing that you will notice sometimes is that after you give them a really harsh talk, if you didn't really turn it, around a little bit, you notice that they will have a headache or they will get sick the next day or so because they just get so hard on themselves, they couldn't sleep and then they have a headache and then everything just go downhill. So you want to really talk through them and say, okay, I'm here to support you. I'm going to be honest with you what happened, but I wanted to also support you. But at the same time, I don't want you to overthink it, right? Just it is what it is. Don't look at it worse than it is. Mindset growth. The reason why I created the every Wednesday call for the VAs to come in and learn from us, right? And again, if they cannot make it, make sure that they watch the replay because we do provide you all the replay for them to watch it, right? Is that make sure that they're consistently growing and increasing their lead, their capacity. John Maxwell always talk about this, which is the law of the lead, right? You want to make sure that, they're constantly increasing their capacity. The number one reason why a VA doesn't really work anymore at the end is because you, as a business owner, we constantly are growing. We go to events, we go to, webinar, we go to classes, right? We learn on YouTube, right? And then we're like, man, this is all amazing. However, your VA has been just doing all the work, and you didn't really share any new things for them. And eventually you're like, wait, man, how can you not understand me anymore? You've been with me for 10 years. But the thing is that, boss, I have been doing all the things that you tell me to do, but I haven't really necessarily been learning a lot of new stuff. But you actually have been learning, right? Because you have been investing yourself. So you want to figure out how do you close this gap? And obviously for me, that's the reason we provide the every Wednesday call because then they can constantly still learn things that I am learning, right? That can help them close the gap. Number one is obviously mindset, because the more that they believe they can do it, then the more that they will do it for you. If they believe that they cannot do it, then they won't be able to do it for you, because, it's already stuck in the mind. So we wanted to constantly grow them on mindset. And the second thing is obviously, if you are learning something different than what we're training them, let's say you're learning about YouTube, right? Then what you want to do is, hey, this is the recording. Why don't you go watch it? Give me the note. Let me know what you have learned so far. One piece that I'm doing very successful on is that all my virtual assistants are constantly learning. If I am moving, they are moving together with me. And then the people that does not move together with me, then obviously they will be let go. They will not be a partner. They will just be a virtual assistant. I'm just getting them there just to do the very, very minimum, but they will never get to my partnership. But again, constantly remember, if you're not growing, you're dying, right? That's not just for me, not for the business owner, for the virtual assistant too. So constantly allow them to grow, especially on the mindset, because skill set can be easily learned, right? If you buy a software, they always have training manuals for you. They always have the video for you to learn. There's always a support line for them to learn. The only key is that if they believe that they can do it, they can be a partner, then everything will change. Business owner, a lot of times do not have KPI. They do not have KPI and they do not measure them. And that's a lot of time when we ask you, hey, how is the VA doing? I think they're doing good, or man, I don't think they're doing good. Why not? Most entrepreneurs cannot tell me why. So it is very important that you create KPI, set expectation early on with your VA using, KPI and explain it to them. So like, for example, my sales department, we have a consistently 15 activation that needs to be done every week. Right? All my talent managers, they have to at least have 3 hires, under their belt every week, right? When our social media team, their goal is every week they need to gain 100 emails, right, into our email box so that we can, email sequence, touching the customer. So every week we know, are you reaching your goal? Are you not reaching your goal? If you're not reaching your goal, why not? What are the tools? What are the support? What are the mindset that we need to train you so that you can get there? So it's more tangible when we're talking to them, right? And even for me right now with my company, we have quite a bit of people. We even have, KPI on being on time, doing their work, their keystroke, right? Their productivity, their outcome. We measure pretty much everything right now. Every month we have, this called the employee of the month. And you will see who are the employee of the month and why are they employee of the month? Because they have been helping the rest of the team members to achieve whatever. And again, it doesn't have to be complicated. It could be just one thing that they're measuring. And again, I would say, that one thing might most likely will be something that's most important for you, right? So again, kind of what I already talked about, why measure it? To know how your business is going, what should be done to the result you have to make sure you achieve the goal. Tony Robbins always said best, okay, you can grow what you don't measure. Without measurement, you don't know where is your 2mm shift, right? Without measurement, you don't really know, are you doing well or not? In the real estate world, we actually running the numbers because every month, sales-wise is different. Like in December, usually that will be a slow month for, real estate. Summer, right? Sometimes, we will dip in sales too, because a lot of us is taking care of the kids, having a summer vacation and all that. But you wanted to measure them so that way you can see, okay, which month we have higher in sales, which month we have lower in sales. And then at the same time, then you can figure out, okay, what are some of the discount or what are some of the free gifts that we can give the customer so that we can consistently hitting the number every single week. Growth opportunity, right? Show them the path of growth, a partnership, right? It is more than just a job. I told all of the virtual assistants, if they do well, eventually they can grow all together with you. They can have a retirement plan together with you, which I know all of you guys would allow them to have a partnership, right? And for me, a lot of my position, we grow from within, right? They started with the bottom, and when they do good, they get promoted. When they do good, they get promoted. And that's what I always tell them. I want you to learn what you're doing really well, and bear in mind that most likely you will be training other people on it. Right. So then now they're like, oh, I see my growth capacity, right? I'm going up and up and up and up and up. Right now, I am trying to scale my business to 10 million. Right. So I tell my team that, hey, I'm going to start to give you guys bonus structure. And, so every head of the department, I'm going to give you a KPI. And if we hit the KPI, you're going to get a bonus as if you are, a co-partner for the company. So in that way, you're not really just relying on the day-to-day hourly paycheck, right? Because if the company's doing well, then you're going to get a big lump sum, right? So, but ultimately, you want to give them the growth plan, 2 growth plan, right? One is the company growth, right? If the company is growing, then what kind of bonuses can I get, right? So that way I can see that I'm not just a busy bee worker, I'm a partner for you, right? Number 2 is, a position growth, right? If I'm doing so well, can I start to, monitor the rest of the people, right? Can I start managing a team? And eventually, this is my growth path for them is eventually, I want them to be able to self-sustain on the bonus structure and not even have to worry about the hourly rate. And again, bonus ideas. Some people were asking me, hey, what is a good bonus idea, right? Again, they love you to reward great work. And again, it's more than money. So I put IE milk tea. Filipino love milk tea, which is kind of like the bubble tea or boba tea. Sometimes we will literally have a milk tea party. So I will have my milk tea and they have their milk tea and then we just have a party together. So it's kind of cool, for us to kind of hang out and get to know each other. What kind of good bonus can we give them? Every time we get a testimonials for my company, I give them a $25 bonus. Anytime they generate a new client for me, I give them a $25 bonus. Anytime they hit their goals, I also give them a $25 bonus. If we are in a training, right, if they speak up or they give me a really good idea, I will give them anywhere from $5 or $10 bonuses. So those are kind of like, bonusing them for good behavior, right? And then $25 usually is like a single like bonus structure that I give them. Sometimes I'll give them $100, like on birthday, a lot of time I'll give them $100 or buy them something, right? Give them a day off. Those are pretty good, bonus structure too. And obviously you can always ask them, hey, what do you like? What are something that you really enjoy? But again, make sure that every time you give them bonus, just think about it times 4 or 5, because if you give them $100 here, technically it's about $500 in their country. If you give them a lot at the very beginning and at the end their productivity go down and you're cutting down the bonuses, sometimes it's just hurting them, so that's why it's always good to give them gradually instead of giving them a big one and then you trying to slow down on the back. Clear bonus structure, right? Always refer to the access performance KPI. Just like what I said, my team, right? If they hit 15 activation per week, they get a $25 bonus, right? If they hit their barely minimum of 5 a week, then they get a $25 bonus. So they already know how much bonus they can make a week. Like I created so much bonus structure that they know that they can make a lot of good money. Based on social media, right? If you hit like 1,000 views or 1,000 engagement, then you get like, $25, right? Or again, when you're building your social media, maybe every 100, followers that I got, right? I will give you $5, $10, $25. So that way they're like, oh man, if I want to make more money, no problem. I just have to achieve all these, numbers. And if I achieve all these numbers, then I make those money, right? So same thing for you, because ultimately you want to hit those goals without, pressuring them to do it. So same thing, give them those KPIs so they know, okay, this is what I'm working on every single day. The number one thing is, again, build the trust, right? Making sure that, you build the trust with them so that they know that you trust them and they trust you. And also make sure that you let them know that, you depend on them. If they know that you depend on them, they will always come out to work. If they know that they're just a support, right? You can have them, you cannot not have them. They don't really work as hard for some reason, okay? Set them up for success, right? Like what I talk about, make sure that they have constantly growing mindset, have the correct tools, correct software to do their work, right? Measure their work so that way they know, are they growing? Are they doing well? Or are they not doing well with you? Right? So that way you can measure it, measure it with KPI, right? Create a growth path and bonus structure so that way they know that, hey, if I'm going to be replaceable and then every day I'm just going to work super hard, and maximize and make sure they're effective and efficient, then I'm going to gain all these bonuses that I got. So I'm making extra, $100, let's say, because I'm just hitting all these KPIs, right? And then again, if I constantly, hitting all these KPI, then eventually my boss is going to hire more VAs, and then I will become the mini boss underneath, the company. I become the supervisor for everybody else, right? It's then eventually, I can work on the business just, next to my boss instead of working in the business, right? And ultimately, that's how, you form the partnership, right? That's how I form the partnership with Nick, with Marit, right? With Rachel, right? It's that, now we have this unspoken relationship, again, Rachel is handling all my social media. I barely get involved in it. Marit is handling all my data, all my forms, all my KPIs. I don't have to get involved with it, right? And Monique obviously have to oversee everything for me, on the highlight, right? Talking to the customer, training the people. And again, I don't have to let her know what I need because she already know. And ultimately, she's my partner. So if any given time there is a blind spot, they will bring it up to me and say, boss, I don't think, this is going to work out. That's not going to work out. We have tried this is not working. We have created the system for this problem because, we see that, something is missing. And that is how, we form the partnership. And right now I have about 6-7 partners in this business. So I don't have to work in every single department anymore. They are the one that's working on the department. And I just know how the department is working well or not well based on the KPI that we've set up. Every week we have a conversation about the KPI. Are we hitting it? Not hitting it? If not, what can I provide you to get there? Do I need to buy you a course? Do I need to have a chat with you? Do I need to sit down together with you to recraft the system? system, and then you just rinse and repeat, right? Continuously doing this with all the virtual assistant that's coming through, and then all constantly, making them to become a partner, have formed this partnership with you, and then the rest will be history.